Trade deadline has come and gone. As of 1 o'clock, there were 25 trades made at the NBA trade deadline. There may be a few more that are filtering out that you'll probably find out about through the afternoon into the evening. But obviously, this all started with the Lakers triggering the massive deal with the Dallas Mavericks, the Luka Doncic trade. Doncic is a superstar. Doncic, will he be in better physical conditioning shape? Doncic, can he be healthy over the course of an entire season? Doncic, will he be able to coexist and play? Does the offense run through him or through LeBron James? And what do the Lakers do in terms of bigs? One of the things that really surprised me, one of the guys who was part of that deal is a young center who in spurts has played well. His name is Maxi Kleber. He just underwent foot surgery. He may not play all this season. That was one of the guys the Lakers got, and he's a big 6'10", 240-pound center forward who can shoot and score. Does not look like he's going to play. So the Lakers gave up Anthony Davis and gave up Max Christie, gave up a number one to get Doncic, the superstar, and the other young big can't play right now because of surgery. Then in the middle of the night, the Lakers traded their number one draft pick, Dalton Knecht. He goes to Charlotte with Cam Reddish and another number one. And they get Mark Williams, a 7-foot young center, been in the league 2.5 years. He's averaging 16 points and 9 rebounds a game. Looks good on video. Very active, can shoot, kind of a rim protector, but he's got back problems. He's missed a preponderance of games. In fact, Mark Williams has played only 84 games. He's missed 128 games in 2.5 years because of back injuries. And the Lakers traded for him. That's a wear and tear position. There's a lot of combat that goes on down there. And he comes with talent in his bag, but he comes with a bunch of medical papers that say back injuries, back surgery. That's kind of a unique deal. At the end of the day, Rob Pelinka trades in Anthony Davis, Max Christie, Jordan Hood-Schifano, Dalton Knecht, and 2 number one picks.
Wow.
There's nothing left in the war chest to change the roster going forward. What you have is what you're going to have until LeBron James retires, because there's no way to go get other players, and there's virtually nothing left. When you look down that bench, now there's a lot of empty chairs there. It's just, I have no argument with Doncic, but you gave up a really good complete player in Anthony Davis, but man, they've auctioned off virtually everything. So that's the latest with the Lakers. And by the way, speaking of the Mavericks, a lot of heat there about trading Doncic. Anthony Davis did something unique. When was the last time you heard of an NBA player giving money back?
Like never.
Never, except now. Anthony Davis had a $6 million bonus due him because he was traded. He waived the no-trade bonus in his clause to give the Mavericks cap space to go get more players.
Wow.
Anthony Davis, good guy. And he's about to make his debut in Dallas. Third team there, Sacramento Kings. So they moved De'Aaron Fox. Fans in Northern California are just losing their mind over what has happened there in Sacramento. De'Aaron Fox, of course, went to San Antonio in this big mega player deal. At the end of the day, getting rid of a superstar like De'Aaron Fox, they just made a second deal to get a center, Jonas Valanciunas from Washington.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. They got 6 draft picks. They have 3 number ones. They got 3 number twos, but they got Valanciunas to replace De'Aaron Fox, superstar, who refused to sign a contract. And the stunning part about Sacramento-San Antonio trade, so San Antonio's got Wembanyama and Fox, and they retained the big forward, Harrison Barnes. They retained Harrison Barnes. They retained Stephon Castle. They retained the young guard Vessel. And they still retain all 6 of the number one picks they have. The future of the NBA, the flag's going to be planted in San Antonio. You talk about a roster that's star-studded and deep with lots of resources. San Antonio Spurs. People in Sacramento just losing their mind. Miami, life after Jimmy Butler. They got rid of him. Now, I don't know if they got fair value, although Butler is 35. But they got rid of the cancer. It wound up being a 5-team deal. Butler traded to Golden State. Miami gets Andrew Wiggins in his expiring contract, which is almost $30 million. They get a number 1 draft pick. They just made another deal today. They got a really good defensive guy. Davion Mitchell came from Toronto. He'll replace Butler's personality there. But they got a ton of cap space, and they got rid of a problem. So Miami is going to be a very, very different team. Golden State gets Jimmy Butler. Can you imagine Steve Kerr, who's already had to deal with a lot with Draymond Green? Steve Kerr has to deal with this guy? Now, there'll be a honeymoon period. Maybe it'll last the rest of the season. Maybe Butler comes in and becomes a good guy. Nah. The last 4 places Butler's gone to, each one of those marriages has ended in a really bad divorce. Oh, man. So Steve Kerr inherits that. Now, will there be peer pressure? Will Steph Curry be able to impose his will on camaraderie with Jimmy Butler? Will Draymond Green just punch Butler in the mouth in practice? Now, how are they going to control Jimmy Butler, who has a history every place he's been? He's talked his way out of 4 different teams by the way he's acted. And by the way, Golden State, after they got him, John, they gave him a 2-year, $111 million extension. He got rewarded for all the crap that he pulled in Miami and all the tantrums. Unbelievable. Keep an eye on Golden State to see who wins this war of wills. That Coach Kerr, his good players, versus that guy coming in the front door with a rep in Jimmy Butler. Phoenix Suns, Valley of the Sun. Beautiful place to live most of the year. Now toxic territory. Kevin Durant refused to go to Golden State. He killed a potential trade for Jimmy Butler, refused to go to Miami. Brad Beal refused to waive the no-trade clause in his contract. That's a big issue. Phoenix, congratulations. You tried to put together a team of superstars. Now you got a toxic team plagued by attitude issues and injury history. Suns are a mess. Milwaukee, Washington. Chris Middleton, Giannis, Dame Lillard. That's a pretty good basketball team. They won a championship a couple of years ago, John. Can you imagine being Chris Middleton, being a superstar, making mega money, already having a ring, and going from there on the final year of his contract to the 6-43 Washington Wizards? Brutal. Chris Middleton gets traded for Kyle Kuzma, who must think he died and went to heaven. He's going from a last place Washington Wizards team to Milwaukee. Clippers. This is a bit of a surprise. They're playing pretty well for Tyronn Lue, but the Clippers made a deal today with Atlanta. They get 3-point shooting guard forward Bogdan Bogdanovic. He can stroke threes. They gave up Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, fringe guards. So the Clippers make some changes there. Toronto, in a bit of a surprise, what a hodgepodge roster they have. They trade for Brandon Ingram and all of his eccentric behavior. He comes from the New Orleans Pelicans for a 1st and a 2nd round pick. And a trade that people should really pay attention to. Cleveland, Atlanta just made a deal at the deadline. The Atlanta Hawks send their 3-point shooter, DeAndre Hunter. He's averaging 19 points a game. He goes to the Cavaliers in a 5-for-1 trade of fringe players and draft picks. Cleveland's got all this firepower, led by Donovan Mitchell and obviously Evan Mobley. And now Cleveland adds a 3-point stroker in DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench who can really light it up. So those are the marquee trades. 25 trades in all as of 1 o'clock today. Might be another odd one or two. But, John, I threw a lot on the bulletin board. So your response to the end result, the Lakers getting rid of Connect on top of the last 2 number 1 picks they have. You want to talk about Sacramento? You want to talk about who San Antonio's become? Miami, the Golden State problem? Pick one of those logos, pick all of them. You got a comment?
Yeah, a couple. So it's clear that Pelinka must be thinking, man, we got only LeBron for this year, maybe another. So let's just go all in. So they don't have any now number 1 picks like
through 31.
31. I mean, it's like 6 years of no number 1 picks is what it's going to be. I mean, that's insane. Now, also the interesting storyline is that a lot of people thought that the Lakers didn't give up enough in the trade to get Luka, and that a lot of those other assets that really should have gone to the Mavericks, like Connect and another number 1, they ended up Lakers getting to use those to get this new center, so it's kind of all going the Lakers' way.
Well, so you think. But Mark Williams comes with a bad back, can't pick up a suitcase. And he's going to be your starting center, and you just traded your number one pick this year, connect, and a future number one.
Well, they got Doncic thinking that, this is our guy for the future,
Sure.
right? He's going to take us the next 10 years.
You got a 25-year-old superstar, and you got a 23-year-old center, but the center's dinged up.
Yeah, and they have no number one picks for the next 6 years. So it's going to be Luka on an island.
Well, if LeBron leaves a year from now, you will get the $51 million cap space to use to be able to go lure people. But then what kind of team are you going to have? You're going to Luka against the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's where we are. Like I said, what are you saying? If I gave you Steve Kerr's cell phone number, do you wish to call him and give him some advice how to deal with this guy, Jimmy Butler? What a great player. What a great problem.
Yeah, it's going to be something. Kerr is first class, and he knows how to handle people. So I'm kind of excited. Jimmy Butler has a little bit of a connection here in San Diego. But, granted, he's been whining. He wanted to get off the Heat, but he's never been in trouble. Has he ever been, suspended for flagrant fouls or any off-the-court issues?
No, because he got suspended everywhere he's played for something he did in terms of personal relationship skills. This guy talked his way out of Minnesota, Philadelphia, Chicago, and now Miami.
Well, it seems like the Miami one, he just didn't want to be there anymore, and he was kind
of
I
couldn't find any joy. He's making $49 and $52 million, and he had no joy.
Yeah, well, so hopefully he'll get some joy in San Francisco with Steph and Draymond. Maybe they can find a way to make this guy happy.
You think Draymond punch him in the mouth in practice?
That could happen. He's been known to do that.
Steve Kerr, good luck to you. So that's what's going on around the NBA. I spent all morning, my head was blowing off my shoulders as deals were coming so fast and so furious. So that's what's going on around the NBA.